Good evening, Sierra Leone. Good morning and good afternoon, depending on where you did in the world. Good evening again, good morning, good afternoon to Kono Pikinde wedding at the diaspora and Una wedding back home na Sierra Leone. This na David Bongbo the Cantona from Kono News Network. As always, we dey tell thank you to the one that we don't subscribe. Una continue for listening to we, una continue for send una comments them. Anything what we say now we will not agree with we can also make clear we know so that if we get for change or if we get for add or if anything the way we feel say we not to do right we go make it go right. I get with me this evening the country director for executives of Kono organizations when I echo and we get for look at the news wrap up for the week waiting don't go on waiting we feel we dey give we own perspective about wetin we feel say dey go on. So I go call Mr. Famanda make he come in and introduce himself quickly.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Kono people,
Mr. Famanda,
yes.
hello.
Hello.
Okay, we get some technical glitch. Let's see again if we can able to solve that. Hello. Hello, Mr. Famanda.
Hello, Mr. Gwangwo.
Okay, again I think we have some problem with the network. So fumble them una go be me make I try for connect with Mr. Famanda again. Uh, again this na David Bongbo, the canto owner from Kono News Network. Hello, Mr. Famanda. Are you getting me?
Yes, I am here and I'm getting you loud and clear.
Hello?
I am getting you loud and
Hello?
Yes, Mr. Gwangwo. I'm getting you loud and clear.
Okay. So I just did the introduction of the program, and if you can just come in quickly. So again, now I have got Mr. Famanda online. Can you tell us briefly who are you and where you are right now?
There is an organization in Sierra Leone, not only established in Sierra Leone, but also established in the diaspora. It is named the Executives of Kono Organizations, an umbrella organization for many other organizations, Kono, that is being led by Kono people at home and abroad. And I, fortunately, am the country director for that particular umbrella organization. For short, it is ECHO.
Okay, thank you very much. What we are doing this evening is just to look at all the events that have happened in the past week, and we put our perspectives to it. And I know we may not give it an exhaustive discussion. People out there might have their own opinions regarding what we are going to discuss, and if anybody out there listening to us right now, you are more than welcome to participate. Send us your questions, and if we have time, we will answer them. Mr. Famanda, I have the first thing for us to discuss. There are a couple of points here that I have put together. Kwedu Limited versus the mine workers, the standoff intensifies. So, what do you think is creating this intensity, and why should we believe that the problem will be solved?
Well, problems are made, created, or they actually occur artificially or naturally. But we are always up that they should be solved. And said is one of them that by thought by our it is going to be solved. It is only unfortunate that our government, we talk about fathers who should be responsible to make sure that their functions are effective positively for the growth of the children, for the growth of the family, and the family, education, the environment, the society. That's all depends on how responsible the fathers are. In Africa today, I want to believe it is true that many countries or many, it seems as if the fathers being too responsible to the point that other states are infringing on their rights, and Sierra Leone is not an exception, especially when we the subject is Sierra Leone and or a banana republic. So most of the problems that are occurring here, we don't know whether it's pretty complex, or we do not know whether our fathers do not. There are many that are going on, especially with our resources. Our fathers are not them; they are left loose. Few of them are there to make sure that cater for themselves. Forget about the public, that is, forget about the people of the country. We have always had people saying country first, but the context of that is, if we look at the content, we will actually know that it at all, and this is the reason why small petty escalates to quench the fire. We are not able, especially when have allowed themselves. Maybe we back foreign and
Yeah, we are having trouble with the network, and listeners, I know those of you that are listening right now, please bear with us. Mr. Famanda is on the line and is trying to do the best as he can to give us his own perspective. There's kind of network problem. So, Mr. Famanda, can you hear me?
yes, I am. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So maybe it was your voice was lagging. So go ahead, please.
Well, like I was actually saying, the problem in Sarah lies with our political habits. In fact, you will agree with me that quite many people who are writers, they have a political role. They do not want to put country first. They want to put themselves ego. In fact, it's not. It is real now. Not even know their role and responsibility in running a country or running a state. They have exposed themselves to the fact that we are indeed, although people say it's an independent state, but we have seen that an independent state, it is a Susan state. How do I confirm? The first lady of the country, Dr. Ajabibio, said that at any move forward, there is big brother. And it seems as if brother actually having squeezing the that are run our state. Their hands are at the back and have no, let's say they are strong character, they are flat character. They cannot eat except all that would eat ideas. Here is a country God has lavished raw material, diamond, bauxite, plus many other things. But of course, these things are God gave them to us so that we empower ourselves, that will not be mixed slaves. But laziness, like Our fathers have become those, they have become players, they have abandoned responsibility. This is a country where we our own staple. This is a country that we can supply water when water is all over the place. This is an affirmation that living by riverside and washing our feet, they have taken responsibilities and have given them back to people who had colonized longer. So
Okay,
Sierra
yeah,
Leone is a
yeah.
state.
You have actually got into the second topic that I wanted us to discuss, and
Oh,
yeah. So, but I'll still bring it up. I know
mm,
you have given a lot of information in that first segment. There's actually network problem, but I am asking our listeners to bear with us, and as we go along, I am sure it will improve. And my second point that I wanted us to talk about is the missing link in
mm-hmm.
this entire issue that is going on in Kono district and by large the country itself. Stakeholders' involvement is not really very visible as we all expect. Why do you think that is so? There's that missing link.
Yes, just like as we put it in the context of uh, politics, or we say political. I use this word, this phrase today in one of my broadcasts. I said there is political sabotage. We have our traditional leaders, they were empowered, but now, far as we can see, politics has involved that they are no longer able to control, that is, they don't have to over their giving communities. Kono, we have 14 paramount chiefs, but none of them able to operate effectively and independently because interference, and they are afraid that their staff will be taken away from them. And this is the reason why today we are no longer, things have fallen apart. There is division, political divide. One the paramount belongs to one, the ruling will always come up at the other whom they might claim that they belong to. And because of this, afraid, so they cannot function. That is exactly what is happening in Northeast, not Northeast, in many other districts, Sierra Leone. For instance, the Northeast, when the East or the Easterner is present, the South enough stop because they are not able to penetrate, they are not able to, if it is opposition, to not be opposed because trees along the country. So there we are having the thing, the missing link. And this is the reason why able. This is the reason why we control our resources as a chiefdom, because it's a blessing for us as a district. It's a blessing for us that God geographically has empowered us with mineral resources. But how could they stand up to control those when there are foreign power, when there are foreign policy that do not support us anyway? So that is how the link are missing. There are many paramount out, but they are, especially with the things that is currently going on in with the many mining companies, but key among them, Koidu Limited. Koidu Limited is a million, I want to say, dollar mining company that has been operating here under a criminal, in a criminal, I have to say. And then I'll begin to ask, who gave them, or who gave them life? Why did they give them life? Were they able to understand which company is this? As I speak to you, the world does know that he of the company is a criminal. So if there is no missing link, then I believe a responsible government will have to know the investors that come in, whether they are investors. So with the political side, our paramount chiefs, anything, even the opposition will not say anything, because if you do say anything, they are going to put you in the right corner where you're not able to breathe. That is why today many of our politicians to breathe. Although to certain points we see some amount of conspiracy against their own people, as long as they're able to line corrupt money in their pockets.
Yeah,
So we
you,
have to
you have mentioned something that is really very, very important. And our system actually has created a kind of scenario where even people who are affected, their leadership is afraid to speak on their behalf simply because they don't want to be reprimanded.
sure.
Just like you mentioned our paramount chiefs, we can understand. If you actually listened to the last time they went on the radio, some of them, the PRO was actually saying that they have done a lot to behind the scene actually to mediate between the mine workers and the administration of the Kwedu Limited. But the only problem was where the missing link is also they have not been communicating their conversations or their findings with the public. So, which is why everybody was saying that they are not taking part, they are not involving themselves in this problem. And when I listened to them on the radio, Chief Ali Musa, actually, who is the PRO for the Paramount Chiefs, said that they have been mediating, they have been doing a lot about that. But I cannot attest to how far they went with that and what were the outcomes because he did not say that. What would be your suggestion as far as this missing link is concerned? What would be some of the suggested actions to be taken to close up the gap?
In the first place, we decide fair. If we are actually states, but we are afraid our powers will be taken away from us, and this is not allowed stand firm for our people. We are making the biggest, because if we choose over our people, especially when rest.
If we choose what? Can you say that again because it's breaking up? If we choose what?
I said if we choose power over our kinsmen, we will not be able to rule them. If we rule them with that is without law, everything is going to be anemic. And that is the reason why everything in Kono is anemic. There are 14 paramount. There are other paramount chiefs and speaking out. And the government come and go listen. Of course, some do not. But if you stand to talk on behalf of others and abandon your, then automatically you're going to lose the respect they have for you. Because if you see the paramount chiefs, they are fighters. So our paramount chiefs are fighters here. But it seems as if they're afraid. Why should they be cowards? And cowards are the ones for the dead. They should understand that they
So yes, so this is really one of the greatest missing link. That confidence building, we have to really try to make sure we work on that. What do we do as community groups? What do we do as CONOS to really bridge the gap between us and our traditional leaders so that they understand we really want to support them, augment their job, to make it easy for them, and then also restore dignity on them. What do we do to bridge the gap?
I think we had done, we had done that in the established activities of Kono organization. We came to our party, invited them to let them understand what executives of Kono organization stand for. Few of them attend our meeting. There are evidence, many of them, and in that meeting, we told them that we do understand under the circumstances that power is being given to them and how they are being controlled. Give me the rope and hold cow, or give me the cow, hold the rope. Is that system operating in our country, and especially in Conodi? And it seems as if most of them do not even know and understand what is said to them is what they just believe, and they will say, Naso government, if Naso government, have you probed into the matter to understand whether this is correct or it is incorrect? Or should we just expect certain things because if there is time, let me just an analogy. There were animals who had that when you go to the forest, meet the stream, once you drink, you should drink. Do not talk. So that's there quite a long time. On one day, a beautiful deer came, stepped into the water and started drinking. As it drank, it showed happiness to the others and said, "Oh!" And because of that, the others were afraid, because they had told them that anybody drinks from that and makes noise, evil things will happen. So when they did meat and brought the meat, all of them stood looking and waiting to see what, but nothing happened. Then the deer dipped its mouth into the water and drank, then shouted noise that ever heard. For a moment they were all, nothing happened. Sometimes we have to take look at the policy that has been among our people in Kono, not Kono, but in the country. They are telling us that the land belongs to people, but all mineral resources to the state or to the government.
Yeah. Like I said, the Paramount chiefs also said in their radio conversation that they are not signatories to any of those agreements, and that is very disappointing.
Why shouldn't they? That implies that there is something wrong somewhere, and this is what we stand against.
Yeah, it shouldn't work. It shouldn't be like that at all. It shouldn't be like that.
It shouldn't be like that. So this implies that the people who use these words, political rogue, they are correct, and that is why they political massage. You will just sit down and see a red-nosed person in the form of China, in the form of Japanese, in the form of India, coming and telling us government has given us all of this land, so you people should move. Where were Paramount? Where were they in signing such law? They have no other thing to do but to move away. It is not us,
I think
government.
the system is not really fair to our traditional leaders. They are supposed to be involved in every other aspect of mining agreements in the country.
Of course,
Yeah, but
if they call,
leaving
if
them
they call
out.
them if they call them custodians of the land, then there has been nothing done in any of their communities without them understanding. But let me tell you one thing. There are some of them that are fully aware of the things that are ongoing, but they are badly compromised. Some are afraid, some are afraid, some are willing to. They accept as long as they are given a G. They forget about their people. Some people have stood up. There are examples. People who have not been, people who are not educated. Let us take an example of Baipure. Let us take the example of Saint Pierre. Baipure said no. They said hot tax for who should
Yeah,
pay for their own houses. Why
yeah,
did that happen? They should be questioning.
yeah,
But why should they be afraid?
yeah, and people like Kailondo too.
Kailondo, yes.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
in, and those in this 21st century, we are expecting our paramount who have said they come from United States of America or they come from anywhere outside Africa. They are the very ones that are compromised. We are always expecting much from them. And if they give, what do you think for our paramount who had never gone anywhere? They just inherited those powers because of family lineage. So those ones who have come, those fly-by-night politicians or paramount, they are a very corrupt one. They should be able to come and link up with us and tell them. And that is the missing link as you're talking about. Just because they are not united. No, we did not pay tax to heaven that our 14 paramount in Kono should be Kono.
I
None
think
of us.
yes, I think we have to really step up our actions. We have to make sure we put strategies together that can confidence building strategies between us, between the Kono people and their traditional leaders, between Kono people and their
If,
politicians. We really need
yes,
to work hard on that because whatever we have done might not be enough,
yes,
which means there are still some pieces of the puzzle that we need to put into their right places.
of
So,
course,
knowing the problems, knowing the challenges, I think we as Konos, descendants, children, we are also responsible to create strategies that can bridge those gaps. If
yes.
we keep mentioning the problems all the time without bringing the solutions, I think it's going to be a very long time before we reach the end.
And this is it because we have believed that in tradition told us that we should respect our leaders. Yes, we should. But does that mean that we should not tell them the truth? Unfortunately, on the other hand, when you tell them the truth, you become the fly in the ointment.
Yeah,
You become
yeah.
the black. You become the black goat
You see,
or
our
the black sheep.
culture has tied us down in a way that sometimes you don't want to speak out because when you speak out, they take you to be on the negative side. And
Of course. And this
those
is
are
the
some
one
of the setbacks.
afraid.
So, if we can go on with the next section, it
Mm.
has to do with security concerns on the rise. What do you think is the current security concern regarding the safety in Kono district, and how do you think the security is handling that?
Um, I don't know who ever it should be Barack Obama. He said we need stronger, but unfortunately our institutions that are named in Sierra Leone, they are the weak institutions, ranging from out coming down to going to council, moving away from there to our military, that is the RADION armed forces, and coming down to the police. These are the weakest I have ever seen. When I listened to Atomic came one time for comfort times, go to the military, ask them to bring tools. They will bring what called something that is better than living now. They will bring old machine guns. In the first place, Sierra Leone does not have to protect our in case and is seen in the current situation between Guinea and Yang. I tell you the truth, it was late President who went and was pleading to Kekure to please move. You begging your colleague head of state. When S.K. took over, he also had to go and beg somebody who is in his own hand to please move. They never listen to him. Retired brigade does matter. Retired matter. He has been called the current junta leader, but the man is not even paying. What do you think? Because they see that their security is totally weak. So we are not only coming to look at the pro-Kono in Sierra Leone context, but we are going to look at security. We are not secure at all. Then today people are Kono, especially our parents, they are written, and in that letter, it is clearly stated that there is no security. What are they afraid of? Are they afraid that Kono or the deprived oppressed workers in Kwedu? Are they afraid that? No, that is not the intention. The only one justice which our government is incapable, cannot consummate to give them. And they think that this will bring something. And if it's going to bring something, it's not going to bring a war. It's only going to be a question of where the justice. And our country ahead of time are afraid because they also failed to do their own part because of political massacre. And today, I want to rest assure you, the Kwedu Limited workers who have been right, including their wife, they are not ready to go to fight. Who will they fight? They are only asking if only justice is given to them.
Yeah.
Then the security is on.
Yeah, they are really not looking for a fight. They are looking for just their basic right to be respected.
Their basic right.
Yeah.
Imagine this, wherein every politician will come with a political gimmick. They will come and tell you because they want your votes. They will tell you that your area is the best. We like your area. And they will also say, we will fight historic injustice. And when the power is given to them, they become the soul and abandon their all-ism. That is, they don't behave like people who want this power. I've been telling people all around the place that these people want Kono for two things. One, they want Kono, and they want the vote because they want the vote of Konos, and they tell them, and they tie them to stake after the power has been given to them. And when the power has been given to them, it is like a gun has been given to a baboon that can attack the man that feeds him. And once they have this power, they have become armed robbers, aiding to steal away the wealth from common people. And they are not going to be secured, especially those who connive against their own people. So that is the reason why they are afraid. I want to rest assured, not only those of us, those listening to us, but I do believe that Kono has proven to the world that it is the most peaceful place. The only thing Kono people want, or the workers want, is this justice. How can you treat your own people as though they are the foreigners, and then you treat the foreigners as though they are the citizens of this country? I am very, very happy about things that are going on, and that's why they are afraid. Go to the Maraka corner or Maraka compound. These people have built papers or big time businesses from where they are coming from, but they still maintain the same structure in Kono. I want Kono fathers, I want Kono mothers, I want Kono brothers to join executives of Kono organizations to speak out. If only they do, then we'll begin to see. Can you imagine? Whoever expected, if they are afraid of security, whoever expected that Koidu Limited will sneak away, climbing hills like Mummo, looking for way of escape. They look to any guns. Prior tonight never happened. You will never challenge the Koidu Limited because our potent political leader has said that Koidu Limited was is and will ever be, so to speak, greater than their government. And as by Kroma came in and said he was the chief security
The chief
officer.
security officer.
How, yes, imagine how a whole head of state can belittle itself to a toilet cleaner
I know.
among white people in Africa.
Yeah.
I hope they are able to look. I hope they are able to look at their age. 35-year-old Ibrahim Toure is standing up and is giving power to his people. The other problem is that Ibrahim Toure is setting all of these examples. They listen to the people that are along. They don't listen to the street people. They don't listen to the people that are in prison. Some are there. They are being there for no good reason, and they are not listening to them. If only they started listening to them, then they would be able to understand how security is good. In my environment, what do? I make sure that I defend everybody. I am not even going to begin from the rich ones. I'm going to begin from those that are poor. This is security. This is how you create security for yourself. Why should they be afraid of insecurity? Kono is safe. Kono is the most safe place.
Yeah.
But the Kono, they that are afraid, the ones that have maltreated the people, they have stolen their from them. They have punished them. And some people will say, Kwedu Limited should not go ahead in overhead this because of the impact. What is the impact? They will begin to tell you that employment is one thing. Are they gainfully employed? This cannot question. And if we believe that an S.K. the other guy who passed away, and the brigadier for that matter, Julius Matabio, who has said that he will fight justice, especially the historic one. If he's not able to fight the historic one, how will you be able to fight the current ones? Then we'll begin to ask who the other day I read, he said Sierra Leone has no president, no past, no future. Whether he was referring to Sierra Leone or referring to one part of it, no president, no past, no future. And Kono is a perfect example of there is no past, no present, no past, no future. I have been hearing, I have been seeing, I have been feeling our sisters and brothers who leave Kono to go to Magboroka, not Magboroka, to go to Makeni, to go to Bo, to go to other places, 91 for education. And when they ask for a room and a parlor, they will tell them to pay 5,000 liu for just a room and a parlor. They have to pay for 2 years. Go and see how we are suffering. This is just because.
Yeah.
Maybe just because, not only because
These
of
are some
fear.
of the unfortunate realities that we are facing, especially when you come from Kono.
Yes.
The misconception is that you're coming with a lot of money, and we have also heard about that when we were at university studying.
Mr. Tumoy and
Yeah,
Tabom, they are only deliberate. They are only deliberate.
yeah.
We do not need rocket science. Many people are in Kono. They are finding money. They know how we have been politically constipated. But they are just wicked.
Well, we
Not
blame all
only
that. We blame all that on the system, Mr. Famanda, because it's the system that creates that kind of mindset into people,
then
and
where is
then
what people?
when
Or where is the
people.
one union?
Sorry.
I said then, yes, I understand the system. The system, you're right.
Yeah, because
We
when
have
this.
we have inherited a very bad system, and unfortunately, this is a system now that is telling us about the 5 patterns they said they would bring to solve the problems in Sierra Leone. They started with feed Sierra Leone. And then somebody will begin to say, why is it that we are looking at the system? We're always going to attack the system, the current system. They spoke about one of the big, whatever they call it. They spoke about human capital. This is the worst time that 75% of the youth population that we always, I want to we, I'm talking about we the politicians, who refer to them as leaders. They have not been able to create the road for them to become leaders. The only thing they can apply to destroy them is Kush, it's Tramadol. There is no control. Look at the health facility, look at the Ministry of Health and Sanitation. They are seated there. They will hear people selling tablets all over the place, hotborn in some, no condition, nobody anything. And just like the system, the rotting system. This is a rotting system. And anybody who continue to help become more rotting than ever.
Yeah,
And this is
I can feel your frustration. Yeah, yeah, I understand. So maybe let's move on to the next segment. We have actually covered this segment in the previous discussion, something that has to do with leaders under scrutiny, political silence. I think we've discussed that. We'll go to the next one that talks about youth engagement, a double-edged sword. Are we engaging the youth? Is the system absorbing the youth, or are they being abandoned? In brief, what would you say about that?
Well, the when we talk about human capital, and let us see what youth population in time. You could be a primary VP, somebody else by a secondary. 1,000 youth have been laid off under the name primary dismissal. Even when the Minister of Employment, Labor and Social Security has spoken, has brought out equity so that they will be able to instill justice in the injustice or in the criminal. Nobody listened to it, and nobody listened to it. When the First Lady, not as a politician, but as an individual of Kono, she was pelted from left, right, and from her own political party. And she rose up quite. But what are they trying? They are trying to suppress. Who do you think they are damaging the youth? So they do not even want the youth, especially the youth that are active. And they have a technical or regional divide. They are looking at especially the East. They want to make sure that the youth man becomes a madman alone, or a ghost, a living along the streets of. So they have abandoned them. One of the ways you think that in the thing only or will only happen you're in politics, a political campaign, and you see the youth after dressed in the polo, giving to them either talk to or. Are you understanding me?
Yes, yes. Do you think there's going to be a future for the youths in the near future?
We are not engaging them in anything that will be gainful if they actually wanted to do that. Paul Gabashakuli, in this year, told us that the government of Sierra Leone is receiving $35 million out of the mining company. If the government are serious about increasing the youth so that it becomes future, each year that money can from many youth. Let us go back to education and let us put on. Many people want to say, oh yes, Kono, but there is that argument there. We should not talk of Kono. Young guy is suffering. Let young guy raise them. We'll join them as long as they are able to join us when we put out policies. They gave $33 million so that a college will be in Kono district, which they said that it will be one of the best in Africa. If they actually use money, indeed they wanted to break it and engage painfully. They only come to them when they want to meet them. No, they come to use them by starting to meet them, and then they use the violence act. I tell you today, if you were here in Kono, Mr. Bombo with Kono Network, many of the youth will start at you. We want to kill you because they are speaking against their leaders. Those that are misleading them.
Yeah.
And these are the ones.
It's really rather unfortunate. Yeah.
But Kono is on the.
It's rather unfortunate. So we really have if I should come in.
I said Kono is on Damascus. The change is coming.
Yeah, yeah. So
and nobody is going to stop that. I believe that our paramount chief also, some among them, are 75% of them, because I meet with them, they are not good. Some of them are not taught, and they are not even behaving in a foxy manner. It is only unfortunate that politics has tied them about. They sit down. You will actually feel what can we do, Mom? You from them. But the only thing is our youth have been misled. They give them what is what will that do? At this point in time, with all the diamonds, gold, bauxite, and satellite coming out from Kono, that time we should have been having better center. My Mr. Tombo, you think Kono quite. When I come back to any stage, I'll video the, then I will video for you our football stadium, and then to places like Kenya, we fight it. You really know that Kono has been abandoned. If the footballers they have been abandoned, even the ladies they have been abandoned. There's nothing will draw their mind. They say that an idle mind is the workshop of the devil. So the best thing they have done for the youth is to keep them idle, and then tomorrow they will begin to want to give you job, but you do not have the prerequisites.
Yeah.
And these are the educated people that will come and tell us. But I am happy that yesterday I listened to where Atomic said us that Sierra Leone, we do not have educated people. We do not have educated people. Now Bukman, they're not Bukman. It's not Fulman. They are not educated. There is a writer who said they are rancorous elites.
Yeah,
And they are the very corrupt master.
Education itself, Mr. Famanda, to be educated is for you to be able to be productive in your community. If your education cannot make you productive, you cannot connect with your immediate society, it's not beneficial to you, it's not beneficial to the society, I don't think you're educated. You may be a literate person, but education simply means beyond that, actually.
Mr. Bongo,
Yeah.
you are talking about because they are able to go to universities and they are awarded those papers. I understand.
Yeah.
And they begin to go in office and they begin to material thing. They come out, they see themselves as better, as not being lazy, as being the most people with integrity. Sometimes I look at, there are some people who can write. In fact, the corrupt people can read and write. They have corrupted everything.
Yeah. Education really means far beyond that. So,
in
Mr.
fact,
education
has brought corruption, especially the kind of education introduced, which new colonial system, the white man's education. I tell you, this is true. All of those you see, they are doctors, not doctors. They are prescribers of medicine. If you indeed are where are the pharmacies able to produce tablets of your own doctor? The only thing they teach us, draw a leaf and label it back. Draw a grasshopper,
yeah.
and label it. In China, we don't want technology any longer. We want productivity. We want people who can produce. And these people who I see, they are not producers, they are human, they are waste our resources. Can you imagine every convoy that you know what they catch, what they come in with? Do they understand what? They do not understand.
Yeah, talking about that, Mr. Famanda, my students here just did dissection in rats, and then they were looking at the different organs, trying to identify different stuff in it. And not going too detail into that, but we give them a lot of opportunity here to really have hands-on experiments. We are wishing the same thing to really take place in our country, Sierra Leone. If the government, if the government can pay more attention to equipping the labs, and then allow children to really have access to these labs, it will be very, very good. Let's come to the final part of it. And
Mr. Bongo,
yes.
Let me tell you the truth. It is already. Do you know why I say so?
It is already
with the invention of it. Very shortly, many people are lost will become useless.
That's very true. We're seeing that one here too.
Very good.
Artificial intelligence is taking the hard work away from students.
Yes, they have it already. When do you think we need to step up, match up? When our education does not give us any opportunity to live as human beings. Look at our syllabus, look at our curriculum. So the youth have been abandoned. They have time. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
They have
So
wasted their time. We only have to advise from politicians, and then they go back for themselves.
we will
Easy
try
only.
to we should try to talk more on that, and then maybe we also collaborate with authorities to see how best we can move this forward. Um,
If got open hands.
yeah, I want us to come to the last part of the conversation,
Okay.
which has to do with the rally for the First Lady, supporting her for her involvement in the supporting them for the demonstration that we had, and she was there as a key leader in front. What are some of the symbolism of that particular role that she played?
it, it is actually is symbolic, and that she will begin to tell us to the men who are not taking front. Women are going to step and they are going to speak up. And that woman actually show that she is a lady of Sierra Leone.
Yeah. So what are we
But
expecting? What are we expecting on that day for the rally?
let me tell you one. Connors, I have told you earlier, or told our listeners that Connor, the only thing that we know is not war. The first time a Connor organization told the people that we will be protesting, people got up. They said there has never been any to protest. But that myth was broken. We had 1 million man's march when the came in solidarity with the as agreed press and ECHO. They marched, no gunshots. It was so peaceful. Everybody was busy. And if we read again this, the women came out, the wives and their children of the workers, they came out. It was peaceful. The only thing that we did, they cried to their senses. They raised up their voice, and now people who are afraid will be the ones who should try to be peaceful. Coming to the executive of Kono organization in support of the First Lady, it was understanding. It is no politics. We are not supporting it. In fact, she said it, that the Kono. I want to tell everyone now that even if it's a little boy who wants to resonate his voice in the fight against injustice and stands for justice, every one of us will pronounce our voices with that. Our acts will be dramatized in a full way. So Konos are coming out, organization is coming out in the hugest number and in a peaceful manner to just show gratitude to that woman. So if a Kono man pray, come out, put your voice out. We will join you.
Okay.
Sit back, we'll join you. And let me go further. This is what people are understanding. I have had one-time politician who is on a run, so to speak. His name is Cameraman Mansari. Cameraman Mansari spoke in a way that gives a basis. I know, understand his position, because both of them have something that has created antagonism between them. That is not my business. But he should have not allowed to be misled by that antagonistic spirit to think that he will not want anybody to come break his enemy. So we have also had teaching. She spoke eloquently, but she too has missed the mark.
Yeah.
And we are coming to expect for all of them that we are not supporting SFA. We are supporting a corner daughter who, among all other people in the country, did not hide behind her anger, did not sit in corners and say, "Oh, we are happy about it." She came out boldly like a woman, speaking for her place. Esther in the Bible. We are having such with Mataphias is one, and we are having the other one higher places like say Sumana, who is president for executive of Konoga. We have the Kono lady, we have Potemi, we have Kiana, we have many of them. They are putting out there, but that is why they, as women, have brought the idea that we should be grateful and we should let the world know that we agree and we support FATIMA bill, and that is the reason why our organization
Thank you
will
very
become
yeah yeah
peacefully.
thank you very
And
much,
please,
Mr.
I want those who are misunderstanding us to clench their fists. I want the security personnel. It is good now that you are beginning to us that you are. Please keep your gun. Bring out water. We do not want bombs. We want fruits. Bring fruits for them, like many did in other countries. Oponguya did it. Wise people came and he brought water and gave it to them. We want refreshment. We want anything that you can. And in fact, those who have been hiding behind corners and saying that their integrity is an atomic bomb, let all of them come. Let's connose, and this is time. And this is the reason why I am telling you that Kono is on her Damascus journey. The change is coming, and we are going to bring change this time. Let us don't forget that it is Kono that we Kono's name are kingmakers. Now Kono will become kings and queens, and we have one of them, Dr. Fatima Julius Maradi. We support you because you stood solidarity with us. When we were crying, you cried for us. You spoke it out. That is love.
Yeah, so I think you've really said a lot about the problem facing our people right now in Kono district, and you have given a lot of perspective that is food for digestion. I regret that we did not have a good network, but I believe people that are listening to us would have got the message. And I want to thank you very much, Mr. Famanda. In one or two words, do you have any keyword or message that you'd want to send briefly so that we can end up?
Yes. I want all those who are craving, who are fighting for power, whether by state or whatever, when we have any investor coming, go through the history of E.S.K and the company, and for our paramount, when they come and want to mine a resource, bring people who know about mining, who know about mining, to tell you how profitable a particular mineral. Once you understand, then you'll be able to know how you can. And for the youth, especially those who are stoning words against who are standing to fight for the truth, I want you to unclean. We want this time. And anyone who is intending our peace in God, we want you to understand, come and don't dare to try. Kono people, 14 chiefdom, paramount chief, we are all, that's why we are unique. We are called Kono, the district is Kono, it is Kono, name our children. Why are we allowed to divide and rule? Let us come together here, room, and let us try together. And do not just kapu word. Now, Lord, we for kapu. This is me.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Country Director, Mr. Famanda, for executives of Kono organizations. I really do appreciate your time. I know it is very, very late out there, and you have spent all this time to actually participate in this conversation. I want to promise that next time we do this, it won't be too late like this, so that we will get to maybe, yes.
Please, I want to tell you that it is for my Kono. As long as it is my RADION, I am a divine. At any point in time,
yeah, I have some messages here. I want to thank, so there are some late messages that are coming in. I want to thank all our listeners, those of you that have sent in messages. Actually, there's just a very few messages here. Somebody saying very interesting conversation that we had. I just want you to see, know that there are people listening to us and they are commending us for this particular conversation. And I want to thank them all. And again, in a final note before you leave, I'm just going to put these last few words. The Kwedu Limited situation is a mirror reflecting deeper issues. Issues like weak labor protection, opaque mining governance, and political hesitation. The path forward must involve transparent dialogue, strong civil oversight, constructive youth engagement, genuine political leadership. If all of these are put together, I believe we can really map the positive way forward. And with that, I want to close this particular broadcast. This is Kono News Network coming to you from David Bongbo. And I'm also going to dedicate this to executives of Kono organizations and all the PROs, the executive members, all the membership of ECHO. We are going to continue to do the fight, ideological fight. We are not going to take weapons against anybody. Our weapons are our words, our weapons are our ideologies, and we will continue to provide that. Thank you very much, Mr. Famanda, and you have a good night.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. For the rest of the listeners, please like, share, comment, and also those that have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Thank you.